For section 5.6, you read about religion, and the vocab word you have here is ziggurat, which is an ancient Mesopotamian temple tower, which you've actually seen in many of the pictures, both on the problem and solution paper and in the textbook. So for religion, what you should have is religion includes a set of beliefs, usually in a god or gods, together with a form of worship. Religion influenced every part of daily life. They were a polytheistic group of people, meaning that they believed in many gods, and their daily life revolved around them trying to please the gods. This is what bound them together in a common form or common way of life. They expressed their beliefs by building temples and these religious towers called ziggurats. They were made of mud, brick, and they were located near the temples. They believed the gods lived in the ziggurat, and there was an attached staircase so that the gods could climb down to earth. Okay, so heaven and earth, or where the gods lived and earth, were connected in the Sumerians' way of life. Only the kings and priests would go into the ziggurats to ask for blessings, so only the upper class. They also had statues that had been found in this civilization. There was pictures that you could see in the text. These expressed beliefs. They were detailed and lifelike, and the eyes were looking up to the gods. They had ceremonies that included music. They did some human sacrificing, which would be a killing and sacrificing for the gods. So the gods were the foundation of their existence. Um, they used clay tablets to write on to show their religious symbols. And again, the kings were chosen by the gods. So religion was extremely important in ancient Sumer and to their way of life. Pausing here to make sure that you have all of this information in your note-taking organizer. The next one, so this is a ziggurat right here, or a reconstruction of one. The next one, 5.7, is the arts. The arts are going to be inclusive in achievements. Arts can also be part of government or politics. Arts can also be included in religion. Okay, so some arts might be throughout your graphic organizer, depending upon what the art was used for. So two inventions of the, or two achievements, two inventions would be the complex irrigation systems and the wooden plow. Before the plow, farmers used those animal horns or pointed sticks to move the land. This plow was a technological advance. It sped up farming. Metalworkers made weapons, cups, decorative items, mirrors, jewelry. Architects designed temples and ziggurats. The lyre, which is right here, it's a wooden sound box made up of string, or it's wooden. It's a sound box made up of with strings and decorated pieces of stone and carvings. They sang and used music during ceremonies and feasts, which, similar to what people do today, if they're having a party or a gathering, there's often music in the background, or you can even have live music at a gathering. Some technology or practical tools and inventions. The most important was the wheel. If this wheel hadn't been invented during the time of Sumer, who knows where our technology would be today, thinking about all of the machines that we have that use wheels. Before you had the wheel, you had a sledge or a flat bottom cart, so it was more dragging. So it took more human power to move rather than using the tool. They had the idea of an arch or upside down U or V that supported weight in a doorway. This helped them to build structures and to build those structures that were double or 2 stories. They had a written language, cuneiform, uh, which is a Latin word for wedge. So they used this idea of putting wedges or this shaped stylus, etching their writing into clay tablets. There was over 2,000 symbols to stand for ideas and sounds. Think about in the English language, how many symbols are put together to make sound? That's the alphabet. So how many letters are in the alphabet? That's a significant amount less than 2,000. Based on earlier form, they used pictographs. So they would use pictures to represent real objects. So if they were talking about a snake, they would draw a snake. If they were talking about water, they would represent it with a drop or some way to signify water. They did have permanent records, that idea of something down on some type of material. So they were using these clay tablets, putting their language onto them. And so that's a permanent record that can then be seen in a future time. Pausing here to make sure you have everything. So I'll keep it there for a moment. And then making sure you have all of this information in your notes. I just went over the technology piece. Here you have a wheeled chariot. It was pulled by a horse, and the soldier would stand in the back. I have included a video on the last slide that has some of this information as a visual to help you. You can also add information to your chart through that. I also included writing under achievements. So we kind of put it all together there. The only one that I didn't specifically go over here was economics because it was included in the reading throughout different sections. So they did have taxation. They did collect from their people in order to maintain those structures that they were building, complex irrigation systems, all of the temples. So the government collected taxes. So yes, there was even taxes in the ancient world in order to create this community that would be sustained for the people. Some of the resources, the natural resources that they had was this lapis lazuli, which is a blue stone. They had gold and bronze. They also, through their economy, some economic resources that they had would be those materials that the craftspeople and the metal workers were creating and selling. Be sure that you stop the video at each space to go over the different sections of your organizer. And like I said before, there is a video in the last link for you to watch to get some visuals of what it is that you read about, as well as if you think or you see or hear information that you can add to your chart, do so. Thank you.